ship and get back on course for the grand finals? Dignitas says no. Let's get into it. Round 4 here, folks. Dignitas versus KCorp. Looking for the playoffs.
Well, we've had enough of these all North American matchups. How about we kick off round 4 with Europe cannibalizing itself? Nobody's going to knock anybody out yet, but somebody is going into the playoffs. The Blue Wall takes on Dignitas. Game 1 here at Manfield Night, brought to you by Progressive.
The most interesting part of this, Stacks, is you really don't know what team could end up in the round 5 here. KCorp have not had the most dominant major. They've looked shaky, even going up against Team Secret in an earlier round. They have to lock in here. This is a familiar opponent in Dignitas, but Joris with a pinch to start us off. Here we go.
Are you serious? Joris! Ground pinch right by Atto. And Dignitas strikes first, 17 seconds in. If you asked me at the start of the tournament if either of these teams would even sniff round 5, I would have said no. I would have thought Dignitas would have taken care of business probably in this round. I think they'd probably drop a match.
You wouldn't think they would be playing against KCorp.
I didn't think they'd be playing KCorp here. Absolutely not. I certainly think KCorp would have been 3-0 in the Swiss. Somebody does indeed go to round 5. That's probably the bigger story than whoever is actually advancing out of this match. So right now, Dignitas have the advantage on a big strike from Joris.
Yeah, this one is not going to be an easy task. Dignitas have given KCorp trouble in the past, but can they do it in a LAN environment where especially both teams have not necessarily been playing their best Rocket League? But that's why we play the matches for here. Dignitas already off to a great start. That first goal, very big for them, helped them just get a little bit more comfortable as the series goes on. Another shot for Joris. He's got his second.
Boy, Big J bringing another one in, and he has Dignitas on his shoulders right now. Stizzy, a threat in front as well. And right now, KCorp, this day has been almost nightmarish for them. Yes, they won in the previous round, but you don't take many moral victories out of it. I mean, they had a lot more trouble than they would ever have expected to in round 3. And now they are getting pummeled in the first 90 seconds by Dig.
Yeah, this has been something that's been very interesting. A lot of people kind of looking at this as dominant as KCorp are. Why are they struggling in these moments? Now, the problem here with that, though, is that they're a team that can elevate as an event goes on. So all they really have to do is get out of Swiss. Yep. And that's where this matchup comes into play. The difficulty with that is they're playing the one team that we know can handedly defeat them. Even though they didn't do it the last time, they've still done it this split very recently.
I think Jimma put it best yesterday before coming over to the arena. They're just professionals. They're so professional in everything they do. You don't expect them to struggle. Big shot saved by Joris, who's done everything right now for Dignitas. As Raleigh's just gonna sky one up, he'll have to chase it down himself. Left it instead for Atto, but that's bopped away again. And KCorp has to go back to the drawing board coming in from midfield.
Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit the confidence that is in Dignitas. They're not overextending too much. Stizzy, who's very patient there in the back end. Now you see him up in the air. Can he create something? Because he's bringing this one all the way through. Gets past 2 on Atto and Raleigh and helps keep the play alive. But that being said, we're approaching that second half of the game. Dignitas may have the first 2 goals, but it's really keeping up that momentum down the stretch, knowing KCorp are looking for a mistake to capitalize on.
Shaky start at times earlier in the day for Dignitas, and then Stizzy kind of came alive as Raleigh drops one down right at Joris. And that's going to go right back to midfield inside 2 minutes. Trying to extend a 2-goal lead. Vatira's got it away to the corner. Got a demo to help out from Atto. And Vatira dances around apparently Jack and has KCorp on the board.
With enough time left here on the clock as well. I like the carry from Vatira. He sees Jack jump, decides to drop the ball, helps him get more control because Jack's now in an uncomfortable spot with the pre-jump. And he, of course, is going to bank that in every single time.
Don't let Vati get going as he pinches this all the way downfield. And Stizzy will collect. High above the backboard and waiting for someone to challenge him. Vati did, and then it's sent right back away. Now it's apparently Jack. Right at Raleigh. Easy stop for Raleigh. Vatira getting chased to the back wall, and he does evade his pursuer and make the clear. Atto's got that challenge as well. Raleigh shadowing in the corner. He'll wait for Jack to come in and try to pop that right back to the corner.
Now Dignitas trying to keep the pressure up. The most important thing here is, against a team like KCorp, you don't want to play like you're trying not to lose. You want to still keep the pace, because once you start getting a little too defensive and slow down, KCorp ramps up that shot just a little off from Raleigh, but you're starting to see them get more field possession stacks.
And shots from a spot like that are going to find their way to the net sooner or later. Now Raleigh around Jack. Vatira to the back wall. They're trying to pick apart Dignitas now, but Dig stands tall. It'll be Atto dropping it down to Vatira. There's no wasted movement at all now. KCorp in scramble mode, and they do this better than almost anybody. Apparently Jack will intercept. Down to 20 seconds left. You just never feel like a one-goal lead is safe here. 15 to go. Jorius over toward Jack, to take it himself. Loose ball in the wing, and that's pinched downfield. Good 50 by Dig to stay in front. Vatira with one more push downfield. That one's intercepted. Raleigh doing all he can to get this in the air, and he has done so. There's a demo, but then Vatira ran into Raleigh.
Oddly enough, this is the weakest this team has ever looked right now. That's how dominant they've been over the course of the season. Now, this is kind of a prime position in the season because there's so much time before the World Championship. If KCorp are to make mistakes, it would be the best time to do it right now versus later. So they have a chance to actually improve, which could mean if they can even do it this tournament, would make them so much more scarier later down the line.
Oh, here goes Atto, tried to bully his way around apparently Jack. You know, it's hard to call it a letdown. I mean, they're coming down from, you know, a superhuman level to almost average, not quite average, above average. That goes out to the corner. But the truly great teams, you know, you never see that. You know, the teams that we look at as the all-time greats, going back to, you know, the Gale Force Dig Dynasty, as Raleigh's forced one through. Atto can't quite get there. It's never had letdowns. I wonder if KCorp can join that echelon. Raleigh try to force his way through. Stizzy with the stop. Atto now looking maybe for Vatira, though he circled in behind him. And that's a good defensive effort over the last minute or so by Dignitas, weathering this early storm.
And the thing with KCorp too is they're such a consistent team. The way that they're able to kind of play for each other, they are able to leave the ball for each other, get low 50s that work in their favor, all sorts of things. They'll get a setup, someone will go bump. They're very selfless or professional, like you were talking about earlier. But the issue lies in that is that they have so much trust in each other. If someone is late or if there's a lapse or some hesitation, it can kind of throw them all off balance, and they have to be very quick to adjust. Otherwise, it leaves them open and gives their opponent scoring opportunities.
Almost like the game is less about making big plays and more minimizing the impact of your mistakes. Jorius, backboard, double blocked by Raleigh.
Now the question here for Dignitas is going to be, okay, you got the ground pinch early, you caught them out and got a second goal, but can you continue to operate at that level? Can you continue to score on this team? Right now, the first half of this game is looking scoreless out of them. They're being able to keep the possession up, but we haven't seen too much offensive threat out of Dig yet.
Yeah, looking for more quality opportunities. Jorius trying to create one all on his own, and Vatira just smothers him in the air. No chance. So now Atto with Raleigh coming in to support. Stizzy reading the play the whole way. He's giving it off to Vatira though. One-on-one with Jorius, and Vatira won the challenge, but it goes wide. Now Raleigh has Atto coming in support, and they'll combine to score and take the lead.
Great control here from Raleigh, because again, you have to think of all the threats that he can have on the ball. He leaves it for Atto, who's barreling down the middle of the field and just gets a great shot, outpaces the defense. By the time they recognized what was happening, there was nothing they could do to stop it.
Into the second half now of game two. KCorp trying to battle back after, as you said, Daz, is kind of getting caught out, almost getting caught unaware by Dignitas, especially by Jorius in the first minute plus. Everybody converges in front of the net except for Jorius. He'll go to the heavens. Only got Vatira to beat. And he'll find Atto, who will find Raleigh. Here comes the blue wall. It's Raleigh against apparently Jack, and swatted away emphatically.
That was a great read from Jack. I mean, he's been playing against these guys for a long time, and you can tell that, okay, he sees Raleigh, where is he on the field? He knows he's going for the flip reset. Him playing the ball there just cuts down KCorp's offense completely, and then they have to spend time repositioning. It gives Dig just so much room to actually have time to think. Because KCorp, you're so focused on the micro, sometimes you get exhausted, and we see some mistakes happen. This one not punished. No, there it is. Atto picking up the second goal for KC.
I mean, Raleigh just launches this out of a cannon. It should have been Vatira's, but he had to expect that Jack was going to be able to get up and make contact. Jack is just hoping nobody's there, and then Atto comes in to clean up the mess.
But this is what I'm talking about, because it starts with where Jack is positioned. You literally see him in the replay driving backwards to see if he can get into a good spot. KCorp will bring that out of you as Atto getting me another one. No, it'll be denied until Raleigh will secure the third goal.
Oh, this is robbery. Atto absolutely deserves one to his tally here. Pings off the crossbar. Jorius did all he could in the position he was in, but Raleigh there to clean it up. The janitor on the spot, 1:08 to go, and KCorp cruising in game two. What a big bounce back after conceding the first two goals.
And it's really good too for KCorp, right? 3-goal game, looking like a shutout. They flipped the script here, and not too much of the demo game being a big factor. No, they're just playing for each other.
So the story has been all about the blue wall at Forbidden Temple. And now the pressure shifts back to Dignitas. I mean, you know, there was kind of that uh-oh factor of how was Carmine going to respond after game one. Well, they get one on the board here. Yes, they do. Stizzy, as Dignitas finally puts a crack in the wall. They've got 26 seconds left to get two more.
They get a little space on the counter. Jack does a great job of opening up the defense, and Stizzy, great shot placement to the top right corner. They need more of that, and they need to get it earlier on in the series. They spend a lot of time behind, and Atto off the kickoff will get that goal that they gave up right back.
Just a round to go. I was asking, so why doesn't anybody just drive into the ball on these fake kickoffs, try and call out the fake? Atto does it right there, slams the double. It's like free play. 4-1, KCorp snuff out the Dignitas comeback.
There's a lot to think about on those kickoffs, and you make the wrong move and you see the result. You'll give up one very quick. This one, response that KCorp desperately needed to give Dignitas. They delivered it, and at this rate, it looks like they'll continue this on. It's going to be adjustments Dignitas have to make, but 4-1 in game two. Good job helping KCorp get that 4-1 game. Can they continue it as with game three is underway?
Big difference for Dignitas between the two games here in this series so far. Jorius 2 for 3 in game one, 0 for 1 in game two. Explosions all over the new DFH, and nothing comes from it. Stizzy gonna try to serve one up for Jack. He got knocked to the ceiling, so Raleigh can play it across. And Dignitas, well, they had something cooking in the first 20 seconds, come away empty-handed, and now it's Carmine's turn. Atto against Jack, he flicks it high. Raleigh will stay on it. Vatira's lurking, but he'll have to turn back.
Yeah, he had to dodge the demo as well.
Yep.
The demo does, Jack, he's the one who took out Atto there. Though no real pressure or threat coming from him. You see Raleigh, I mean, he literally drives the ball to midfield. He's still on top of it. 50 in front of the net, but Stizzy able to break out, and Atto off the respawn gets a chance for a solo play over Jack. Off the ceiling, can he get it to Raleigh? Can, but Raleigh blocked away by Stizzy, and KCorp now trying to keep the play alive.
And the tough part of that play too is Atto doesn't need another touch to get it back to a teammate, and you're really at his mercy. You have to decide if you're just gonna challenge early or let the play develop. Dignitas took a more passive approach there, and they do not get burned. Oh, big win by Vatira to center that ball, but nobody was diving in, rightly so. Atto will have a look. That's stopped by apparently Jack. Jory is to take over as well. And Stizzy thought about it. He'll have to make a quick turn back and stop Vatira's effort. Raleigh there, and Atto might have got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. What a great recovery, though. Dignitas still threatening. Vatira's popped it out, and Raleigh had to go chase it.
And this all happens because KarmicCorp are too far forward a little bit, and then they risk the counterattack threat. Dignitas kind of waiting for that, and you could see them jump on the opportunity. Now it's Dignitas' turn to keep the pressure, but can they also make sure to keep their rotation clean? Because if not, they'll be stuck the other way, and KarmicCorp with numbers advantage feels like a death sentence at times.
Atto is hoping that corner boost would spawn for him on the way back. Midfield didn't either. So now it's going to be on Vatira along the center line to try and snuff out that attack. He's done so. Atto now with a full tank. He goes over top of Stizzy. Raleigh taking the low route, and he's got one to go by him. Raleigh will just walk it right home. Oh, Raleigh with a Jedi mind trick.
Look at that, great touch, and then got him with the fake. Disgusting out of Raleigh. Rolled it in, and that's all he needs. That's all KarmicCorp need. They set the tone here in game 3.
The Carmine strikes first again. Got to hold it now for half a game. Vatira dunked that down. Jory has had the secondary option covered. Now Atto trying to force this through. He's done so, but nobody else in front. We're seeing KarmicCorp getting real close to the Dignitas goal, and Dig getting a little uncomfortable on the defensive end.
It's a little bit of frustration not being able to score, and then you start trying to change things up. Have to make sure you're not too tunnel vision. KarmicCorp is a team that requires you to have a radar of what's going on around you, even what's behind you. And if you can't sense where they're at or where they're going, they'll make you feel it.
The midfield's so important. Vatira got demoed right at midfield. That slowed down the KCorp attack. He was a little more successful on his second foray to the center line. Now Raleigh going to work. He's got Vati coming in. Double tap, clear the runway.
What a setup from Raleigh. This was phenomenal. Great light touch. Gets in front of the ball. See you later, Stizzy. Vati with a free double. He didn't hit any last game. He's making sure he's on the board this time.
His second goal of the series. The first one came of no consequence when they lost 2-1 in the first game. Now Stizzy trying to go to work and stopped by Atto. Just KCorp that much faster, that much better. Ever since conceding the first 2 goals of the series, it has been all blue. Raleigh past Jack. Stizzy there in the air to stop him and keep it just a 2-goal game. But look at the possession for Carmine.
Exactly.
Atto bringing it all the way back to Vatira. Jack forced to go through. Stizzy can at least come up and play, but there's nobody central, and Atto's got an easy stop.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas have to make sure they keep this possession, even if it means they have to go downfield, send a guy up and dive to get KarmicCorp off the ball. Clock management is something KarmicCorp are very familiar with, and they can do it while still being an offensive threat.
And just managing Dignitas' chances. And by that, I mean limiting them, almost neutralizing them. Jack blocked by Atto. Now Jorius, second touch to center, and Vatira had the option covered. Raleigh comes in to sweep it away, also lands on the corner boost, so he can try to turn it into offense. 30 seconds remain for Dignitas, and it just seems like they have a mountain to climb, even though it's only 2 goals.
And they were so close on that last play. Stizzy did get the fake on the goal line, but wait, maybe a chance here. Can Stizzy get it through? He can! Just under the bar, and just under 15 seconds left.
And that's exactly who Dignitas wants to get going to. Stizzy, once his confidence shoots up, it reaches all-time highs very quickly, 14 seconds. What do they have on the kickoff this time? Surely not a fake after it blew up in their face last time.
This one goes to Jack, and Jack's able to pop it up quickly. Look at Vatira taking his time, running down the clock. 5 seconds in regulation, then you got to keep the ball up. It's in the air now. If it hits the ground, KCorp put this on match point. There's the shot, and oh, it forces the defense to clear it away.
Champions Field, it's Utopia, where so many series have ended so far here in the Swiss stage. Well, we have another. That rolls right to Atto. We're off and running with Vatira. He's got Raleigh. Flip reset, and Raleigh was too far over. Atto will try now, and Dignitas got to feel like nothing has changed from game to game. This one picking up right where the previous one left off.
I mean, this has got to be exhausting to deal with because there's so many things that you have to look out for, and even intangibles in between that. You give up the kickoff early because that's where it really starts. KCorp set the kickoff up well to get Vatira the ball with boost. Afterwards, you have to watch that offense consistently attack, and you're struggling to start offense yourself, let alone, you know, get out of your own half.
Not only do you have to worry about the quick strike capabilities of the blue wall, you also have to worry about them rotating back and trying to get contact on their way back to the defensive end. Vatira was headhunting on that last trip into KCorp territory. It's now apparently Jack up to the skies, and even that's not safe. Raleigh all the way up to the ceiling to meet him. Now Stizzy trying to walk his way through. That'll bounce back out, but nobody was there for Dignitas. Vati's got it downfield with boost, down in front, and score!
And you could see it with Jack. I mean, he knew what he was trying to do, but right when he got to the back wall and tried to jump out, the ball kind of got away from him. The flip was a little too late. It's not the 50 he wanted. And as the approach was happening from the offense, that's when you knew, ooh, there's a chance this could go in the net. Very unfortunate start for Dignitas.
Dignitas has not led at any point in this series, except for when Joria scored that great ground pinch in game one. And he was the only offense in game one. Now it's downfield only as far as the center line again. Back pass, taken back in by Atto, and that will at least get close enough to the net to constitute a shot, so add that to their tally. Just everything that could come up KCorp has done so. Atto to follow. That's going to stay in the corner. And Dignitas, I mean, it's bad enough that you're already down, but then just the extra time and effort you have to spend to try and get out of the zone. Now the net's open, or it was. Vati had to go high. That goes off the post. It very nearly could have been 2-0.
It was a free shot for Atto as well. Like you said, he took just a second more, and then, yeah, chance for it to be a 2-goal game. But Dignitas not in a position where they have control, and they're trying to change it the best way they can. The problem is physicality is not working on their side, but Stizzy trying to do all the work until that one was sent away by Raleigh.
Meanwhile, the other series going on right now, you can probably hear the noise just in the background. That has gone the distance, and Beast Mode has just tied it for NRG on Champions Field against Twisted Minds. They're very early on in that fifth game. We could be seeing the end of this series unless Dignitas can wake up offensively. Atto to the skies again. That's blocked out to the side by Stizzy. And it looked like Raleigh was going to have that up the wall, but he just mistimed that and decided not to get too greedy.
Yeah, right now Dignitas getting a little bit more field possession. But again, KCorp happy to play defense. Their defense has been pretty solid. Oh, that one though, not as good. Atto, it was almost in.
You can't get any closer. And now watch out the other side. Vati had that one lined up for the dunk. Stizzy will try again. Dignitas get a mulligan. Stizzy just high and wide, and Raleigh had it covered. Vatira trying to get around Jack. Apparently Jack putting in some extra. There's a shot, top right. Who else but Jorias?
It started with that initial save that Atto got under the pressure. KCorp struggled to get out of that, and Dignitas didn't let up. They stayed in the play, got the great pass from Jack to Jorias, and he nailed it. You needed a guy to make the shot stacks. Jorias did it.
1:15 in a tie game now. Raleigh to Vatira, and that one's gone wayward. Atto tried to bounce one for Raleigh to set up, but Jorias quickly on. Vatira's got that out to the corner. Hasn't been much else out of offense for Dignitas. Dizzy's got a couple. He'll try and add to his tally now. That goes all the way to the back wall. 50 seconds remain, and a shot sent away. Jack is there, and the follow-up just goes out to midfield. Dignitas doing all they can to keep the pressure on here. They're staying on the blue half of the field, but for how much longer, Daz?
As long as they can until the clock runs out. If you're Dig, you're trying to force the game 5. Jorius, that's a great beat. He wants to keep this one in the play. KCorp kind of starting to scramble a little bit. They're getting low on boost. Dignitas know this, so they want to keep up the pressure. But that touch from Jack is not what they want. Jorius couldn't get the bump. Atto versus Stizzy. Stizzy in a tough spot, but he bumps Atto out the way to make the save.
And that was the worst person for Dignitas to have on the ball. Atto, he had the full boost. Now down to 10 seconds. Jorius downfield. Atto's got it all lined up over towards Raleigh. Well read by Jorius. Stizzy, no. Nobody in the same zip code, and we go to overtime.
Close overtime. Have to watch the kickoff here. Raleigh goes for the corner boost. He gets a free ball. Jorius won't be able to bump him, and now he's in the air. Stizzy goes to contest here, and we'll get a 50. Dignitas in a decent spot. They're able to get a little bit of roll, but KCorp keep getting these clean possessions where they get the first touch, and then that makes it so hard for Dignitas because they have to pre-jump and try to play around it. You saw it there, where, again, getting beat with Stizzy, but Jack, this is great. That low 50 keeps the ball in the blue zone and allows Dignitas more control of the possession.
Jorius now from his own back line. This is not where Dignitas wants him. They want to be able to pass to him up ahead. Instead, he's trying to trigger the attack from as far away as possible, and the blue wall nearly ended it there. Jorius right at Raleigh. This is more what Dignitas wants, but they don't want the ball on their back wall as that goes out to the side. But Tira now, right at apparently Jack, set downfield. It's coming back in. And Raleigh's going to run out of juice, not before he gets that out to the corner. Atto had it all lined up.
That's a good challenge from Stizzy. Raleigh,
Got him.
almost. Atto was so quick on that as well. He's going to be able to get a follow-up touch, looking for the double. Jack, great read on the play. And now Jorius will try to carry this one at least until the midfield for the time being. But wait, Atto, great touch. Got the bump, but Jack, great save from Jack.
Vatira managed to grab that corner boost. Dignitas could be in trouble. They still have plenty between Jorius and Stizzy. Jack is downfield, and nobody else central, so they're going to get away with one here with the blue wall. But Dignitas playing with a little more confidence at just the right time. Is it too little too late, though? Stizzy up high, doesn't have anybody to pass to, and now we just kind of settle in here towards the 3rd minute of overtime. A roller that's sent back out, and it's KCorp's turn to put the clamps onto Dignitas. Bouncer sent away.
Have to be consistent here if you're Dignitas. KCorp knocking at the door. They're just trying to play it away from you if you're a defender. Stizzy, that's a great beat, but it's sent to Vatira, and Vatira's got a lot of room to work with. He gets past 2. If he gets to 50 minutes, dangerous. Atto trying to win, but Stizzy, he gets back just in time.
Stizzy around Raleigh. Got another chance. Golden goal sends us to Champions Field if it comes from Dig. Otherwise, KCorp will punch their ticket into yet another playoff. Jorius around 1. Stopped by Vatira. Atto was very close in there. The spacing has been a little suspect at times from both sides. Nobody's taken advantage of it yet. As we're down inside the final minute over on Champions Field on the old stream. And even more heroics coming out. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Apparently Jack denied. It goes in! Apparently Jack sends us to Champs Field.
The setup, Jack throws it netward. Raleigh, he was a little uncomfortable. He got a follow-up touch after it bounced off the ball.
Champions Field, somebody's going through into the playoffs. Will it be KCorp? Will it be Dignitas? Fire up and let's roll.
Here we go. KCorp could not close it out in 4, and here we are on Champions Field. Jorius already here to start us off. We've seen both these teams trade blows and level up. Stizzy start us off with the first goal. He's the one that's going to put the shot on, but it's slow and just enough for Atto to get there. But Dignitas already with some possession. Another shot, bar down, but it's not in, and KCorp pinch it all the way downfield.
Vatira's just on the goal line like, help? And help did come. And there you see, NRG 3-2 over Twisted Minds. Atomic with 1 second left. The series winner on this very field. So what do KCorp and Dignitas have for an encore? It's a save by Raleigh. Stizzy charging on, and Raleigh's out to meet him as well, cutting off the angle.
You can tell Dignitas, they look like a completely different team from the start of this series. So much more composed, their rotation is clean, and they are keeping KCorp stuck in their own half. As much as they try to get out, the demos have only kind of helped Dignitas here in their rotation as well. And Dignitas still keeping up on the possession. KCorp have not dictated the pace of Game 5 so far.
Vatira does well to just dunk that ball back in, steal some boost out of the Dignitas end. Will that serve as a catalyst at all? He gets deleted off the field. He'll spawn in back behind Raleigh. Coming in to support. Vati's there, skied up high. Atto coming on, and he's hit the post.
And you know he wants that shot back. Still, KCorp with the possession, but a demo on the play. And Atto, that one will go off the back wall, so not dangerous to the net. But Jack has to try again. Great carry, great flick, puts Vatira to get the save there. And still, you expect to see a little bit more here out of KCorp, but the start has been very slow for them. But it's just because Dignitas have really challenged the ball every step of the way and are kind of outpacing them.
Shooters keep shooting. Here's a shooter for you, but he's blocked. Apparently Jack, with Raleigh strafing across. Tira ultimately the one who makes the stop. Now Atto just try to roll it up the wall and give his teammates time to get reset. Jack was running forward, trying to run a little bit of interference in case there was a kind of a quick fire trigger. But Dignitas not overextending. You're not going to see many risks taken, especially in a scoreless tie, as Atto will boom that away, and everybody just playing solid right now, looking to capitalize on mistakes that aren't there.
What a chain dash there from Jack to get back to the ball so quickly. It doesn't amount to much, but you can see the extra effort. Atto wants to play this high, almost had a free shot. Instead, it'll pop right in front of the goal again. It'll be Jorius to stop Raleigh from scoring. You're seeing a little bit more possession from KCorp, but can they hold on to it as Dignitas trying to push them back?
Like to see a little more forward momentum with a first touch like that, as now it's going to roll up. Atto's there. It's a fake for Vatira, and everybody on deck there defensively for Dignitas. Here comes Jorius back the other way, and Vatira's got to take this, pop it up for Raleigh. It's a little bit awkward for Carmine.
Oh, good
back, fake for Stizzy, and it's saved away by Atto.
Yeah, it was a great read. Defense on both sides has been really well done. Great touch there from Jorius as soon as Atto went up, and now got the dunk. Vatira has 0, but he's going to get the corner here. Stizzy up into the air, gets it past 1. Is he going to leave this for a fake? No, he's going to take KCorp's boost and let Dignitas keep the possession. It's going to be a race here, and Raleigh gets there first. That's big as we approach the final minute. There's a strong chance that this is going to be a 1-goal Game 5.
Could be scoreless into overtime, but Raleigh's got other plans. Unfortunately, Dignitas doesn't really care. Vatira, indirect for himself, got over Jack, and Jorius falling into his net, saves the game. We play on scoreless.
Stizzy sends it across to Jack. Oh, Vatira, though, such a great read, great demo, and now Jorius has to watch the double because it's on target. KCorp starting to activate. Stizzy clears that away for now, and Atto, he picked his time. He definitely could have went there to make a challenge, but instead tried to stay back and just keep the possession in favor of KC.
And on we go. Vatira now. Boom it downfield, dump and chase. Overtime looking more and more like inevitability. Jorius around Atto, that's handed off to Vatira. Vatira, good challenge to keep the attack alive, but Stizzy, one more look, no, clock's at 0, and we go to sudden death. Golden goal sends somebody into the playoffs.
Wow, this one has just been, a true test of consistency from both teams. No one giving an inch. Atto not even able to get there in time. Jorius defensively has been a monster. He has not let anything through it. KCorp have had really good chances over the course of this game. Did get a good beat offensively. Can Jack get there? No! Atto with a clean block and gets a good follow-up touch.
Raleigh, boost steal out of the corner again. KCorp have had many. Is this the one? No, it's sent out by Stizzy. Follow up now from Atto. Drop down, it pinballs around, and Atto serves up Raleigh, but nobody can convert.
Dignitas have no boost. They get this one out. Jack finally picked up 100 in the corner, and he's close to the ball. Pops it up for Stizzy. Jack hunting. Stizzy on top of the ball. Where's Jorius? Atto knocks it away from him, and Jack turns on a dime to play this one into the air. Pace of play is at an all-time high here, and no one wants to make the mistake that cost them the series.
They've been trying to play from Raleigh. He's so quick, getting up to the ceiling, just being patient. Vatira up to meet Jorius. And Raleigh this time along the ground. He'll leave the midfield boost for Atto to take over. He can resume the attack. That's a dangerous back pass, but it works out great for Dignitas. Stizzy to the back wall. There was a demo on the back as Vatira was taken out. Now Raleigh had a double lined up, and that is sent away as well. Follow up now. Vatira all the way back to Raleigh, trying to keep Dignitas guessing. A minute 30 plus into overtime. High drama at Champions Field, and Vatira the save.
Oh, Stizzy though plays it high. Vatira in a tough spot. Does get a great touch though. Stizzy with the back pass to Jack. Now Jack, lots of space to work with here. Raleigh goes up first to knock it away, but it's a free ball for Stizzy. He wants to play it around them, and actually may have a chance to throw off the defense. KCorp in a vulnerable spot. Jorius to Jack. Jack can't get it. Is there going to be a follow?
There's no
Stizzy,
boost.
can he get the win?
Boost.
Stizzy does it. Dignitas move on to the playoffs.
Dignitas overwhelm and topple the blue wall.